Hi everyone, and welcome back to Divergent. If you're new here, my name's Mariah, and go and check out our intro video, which will tell you a little bit more about my wife and I who started this channel and the concept of the channel and kind of how we see it moving forward. So please be sure to check that out if you haven't already. So for today's video, I wanted to do the first in a series that we are calling 5 Home Products for Executive Dysfunction. And the idea is that we'll go around to different parts of our house, kitchen, bedroom, bathroom, and talk about gadgets or products or just hacks that we've developed to help with issues around executive dysfunction. And I'll put the definition of executive functioning up here, but difficulty in this area is a core tenet of ADHD. So I thought this would be kind of a fun series. And please let us know in the comments below if you have additional hacks or additional gadgets or products or strategies that you use. So for this video, we are going to start with talking about 5 home products that we use in the kitchen to help us with executive dysfunction. So if any of that interests you, then please keep watching and we will start talking about 5 home products for executive dysfunction kitchen edition. All right, so product number 1 that we use in our kitchen that has been super, super helpful is a trash can that has a built-in bag holder at the back. So we actually have 3 trash cans in the kitchen because we need that many. We found that when we only had 1 or 2, we were still piling trash bags of stuff next to our trash can, and it was just getting overwhelming, and it would disincentivize us from taking the trash out even more and stress us out even more. So we just ended up getting 3 trash cans, and that has been a good number for us. But one of our trash cans has a built-in bag holder at the back, so it's a little box at the back where you can slide your extra trash bags in, and then they're readily accessible when you want to pull them out and take out your trash and then change the bag. So before this, I often would just take the trash out, which is already a feat in and of itself. I absolutely despise taking the trash out. And then I would just leave the can without a bag in it. And we would just end up putting trash in the can without a bag because executive dysfunction. So having bags right there, readily accessible, I pretty much never go without replacing a bag anymore. If you don't have that specific Simple Human trash can, you can just get some kind of container, even a Tupperware container, any kind of organizational container, and use command strips and just put it on the back of your trash can so that it's readily accessible, or just take the entire thing of trash bags and I just dump them, I throw them in the bottom of the trash can, and then the roll is just there at the bottom for me to access. All right, so product number 2 is a wire dish rack that goes next to your sink, which I know are very common, but I stole this idea from Domestic Blisters on TikTok, or Struggle Care on Instagram. She's absolutely fabulous, and she gives a lot of tips related to home and self-care, but through an ADHD and depression lens. So I really encourage you to go follow her. But anyway, what she does for her family, and then what I tried in this house and that really works, is to use that wire dish rack not for storing clean dishes like most people do, but for actually storing dirty dishes. And so what I used to do before we had this rack is I would put all of our glassware on the counter. And so it meant that we had no counter space, and then it became really overwhelming. Not only was the sink full of dishes, but also the counter was full of dishes, and then I wouldn't want to cook because the counter wasn't clear. So, it's not a perfect system, but this at least allows me to have somewhere other than the sink to put dirty dishes that I would normally just put on the counter. So throughout the day, anytime I'm done with a glass or anything, I just stick it on that rack. And the one that I really like because of the size and the sturdiness is this one from IKEA. So I will link it below as well. All right, so product number 3 is a cast iron griddle. And this one I actually bought off of Facebook Marketplace, but it's the Lodge brand, and I don't think they're too expensive brand new, but I bought mine for I think $15. And I had never really used cast iron before because I didn't know how to take care of it. I was overwhelmed by the idea of like, you have to oil it and season it and all this stuff. But after getting this griddle, I cook pretty much everything on there. I cook meat, I cook fish, I cook vegetables, quesadillas, pancakes, yeah, tons of stuff. We can toast hamburger buns or warm up tortillas. But the thing I like about it is that cast iron is actually really low maintenance, because you can just leave whatever was cooked on there, just leave it on there to kind of burn off, and then wait, and you can literally just scrape off the remnants and then wipe the thing down with a paper towel and add some oil. I have like a Lodge cleaner that it's just canola oil, like the spray form. Spray it on there and then wipe it with a paper towel, wipe it down, and it's done. So you don't even really need to clean it or do dishes or put it in your sink or anything. And this one I like because it's big enough that it takes up 2 burners on the stove, so I can make like vegetables and a meat or whatever. I can cook multiple things on there. All right, product number 4 is some type of turntable system, or like a Lazy Susan, I think they're called, to put kitchen items in. So we have one in our fridge. We have one above the sink where we keep like olive oil and that kind of thing. And then we have 2 of them in our dish cabinet next to our sink. And we used to have all of our spices in this tray, and it was a giant mess. And so we took all of our most used spices and we put them in one of these clear little Lazy Susans, and it makes it so that you can see all of the spices that you need and access them, and it's not as overwhelming. And then in the fridge, we use it for condiments. So before, we had like these bins with condiments, and we would like stick condiments in the drawers, and it was a mess. But now we just put the main ones that we use in this like trivet Lazy Susan thing on the bottom shelf of the fridge. And it just makes it so much easier because you can see and access everything. All right, so the 5th and final product is a spice rack. And we use one that we attach to the inside of our pantry door. And it just has 3 rows, and we have 2 of them. So we have like 6 rows on the inside of our pantry door. We put spices in some of them. And then we also put things like parchment paper, aluminum foil, Ziploc bags, and also snacks, like little grab and go snacks, like protein bars or packs of nuts or things that I typically eat throughout the day when I either forget to eat or can't cook anything, and it's just like a quick way to get protein. So that has been super helpful, because before we used to have our spices all in like a giant tray, so we could never see each individual spice. We used to have the snacks like at the back of our pantry. They would always end up there in the box still, and I would never remember that they were there. And then aluminum foil, those kind of paper goods, we also used to have at the back of our pantry, and we would like dump everything to the side anytime we needed to access aluminum foil or something. So this has really helped being able to see everything and access everything easily just on the inside of the pantry door. All right, so that concludes the 5 home products for Executive Dysfunction, the first in our series, Kitchen Edition. Please let us know down below if you like these tips. Let us know if you have any additional ones, additional strategies or hacks. And again, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you soon. Take care from our neurodivergent family to yours.